everybody. How are you? Welcome to the Sacred Spiral. I am Sylvia with thesacredspiral.com. I am an EFT, healing touch, and sacred soul alignments practitioner. And today we're going to continue with EFT tapping since that is so helpful and you don't need a whole lot of time to work it into your daily routine to shift what's ailing you in regards to stress, anxiety, fear, overwhelm, you name it, everything under the sun, particularly with life purpose and or transitions of relationships or transitions in general. It helps us release those emotions that are in our energetic body. We have 7 layers of different bodies. We only see the physical, but there's like 7 other layers outside of it. So what we're doing is we're clearing our field and we're releasing what no longer serves our field, because if we do, it'll help alleviate future problems that could be physical problems, physical diseases, physical ailments. And so if we clear the field before it gets to the physical body, we're actually doing our body a huge service for our health. So what I went into is when you have low-grade stress over a period of time, or anxiety or tension or overwhelm or anything like that that is bombarding you, this is kind of a reprieve to shift those stressful thoughts, hormones, beliefs, sensations into that they show up in the body as negative hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, which aren't great. As you know, cortisol leads to a lot of disease and belly fat and horrible things for the body. So we don't really want to accumulate cortisol. So use EFT as one of the tools of many in your toolbox that could help you. Now, what is EFT? EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Technique, EFT, acu tapping, or just tapping. Tapping for stress, tapping for trauma, tapping for weight loss, tapping for PTSD, tapping for anxiety. Those are all things that you can tap for, okay? But tapping doesn't work unless you decide to do it. So those stress hormones that I said were not so great, cortisol and adrenaline, they constrict the blood vessels in our brain and release through our body when we are experiencing stress. Now, what tapping does is it works on acupuncture points that are 5,000 years old. This modality particularly is over 30 years old and proven scientifically on blind test studies and case studies in several different universities to actually shift those negative hormones into happy hormones like dopamine and serotonin, which are actually 27 times more powerful than morphine, and our body makes it. So I'm going to teach you. You don't need anything other than to follow along. What I like to do is ask for the energy of the week. So I will ask, like, is there any angels that want to work? Is there work with us during that period? Or is there any ascended masters that want to work with us during those periods? Or are there any crystals that want to work with us to help us through that period of time? And so found that 3 ascended masters, very powerful ones, came forward to work with us. So we'll go over it. I'll tell you real quickly the decks that I'm using. Sage Goddess, Oracle, Gemstone Oracle deck. The Keepers of the Light by Kyle Gray. The Work Your Light deck by Rebecca Campbell. And the Messages of Life with Mario de Guay. This is less decks than I typically pull from, but the reason for that is many of the decks that I pulled from this time, multiple cards came out. So I just kind of kept it with less decks. Okay, so the crystal is a powerhouse crystal that I often have handy. It is black kyanite, and that's what the picture shows on the card. I'll try and get a good angle. And it's for protection, healing, clearing. It's for the root chakra. Black kyanite is the only stone that clears energies but never needs to be cleared. It offers protection, healing, transmutation of low vibrations. The reason why we pulled this card is we need to protect ourselves and clear stuck energies around you, which EFT helps, right? We're clearing our field. So we're clearing so there's 7 layers of the body. This is the physical, which we see. There's 7 layers outside of this body. And so when we use EFT, we're actually clearing what no longer serves those outer bodies prior to it reaching the physical body. And the reason why we do that is because if we don't, a lot of times when it gets to our physical body, it shows up in the way of disease or ailments or a hurt back or hurt knee or something along those lines, just because the field hasn't been cleaned on the outside. So you want to keep your auric field and your layers cleared so that you don't have any physical repercussions from not always keeping mindful of your energetic hygiene. And right now, with all the stuff that's going on in the world, it's super important. But black kyanite, what I like to do with black kyanite is, if you do use oracle cards for divination or guided, like I use the oracle cards here mostly for affirmations, but if you use anything for divination, or if you use other crystals, like I wear crystal bracelets, these are my charmed crystal bracelets, or I use jewelry or whatever, black kyanite, and your cell phone, if you touch the black kyanite to anything, it instantly clears it. So it's kind of like, think of it as white sage, but instant. So it's great. What I do with my bracelets is I'll usually put this right through all my bracelets and I'll swirl them around, and they've all been cleared for next time. This is a little guy. These are great for just on the top of your card decks or in your bags. If you have oracle cards in bags or boxes, you can just set this on top and it'll just stay clear until the next time you use them. Okay, so black kyanite. So let's tap that in. If you're new here, there'll be a video that I'll attach at the end, and or you can just go back to the original video in this series, and it's called EFT Where and Why, or the basics. And it kind of goes through all of the tapping points, what body organs they tie to, what emotions they clear, like gallbladder, meridian. It clears rage, anger, resentment, fear of change, muddled thinking, and gives you clarity, compassion, and helps you with understanding. So every single point does different things that help us, and I've gone over that in a previous video. Feel free, if you want to dig a little bit deeper to why we're tapping these points, go learn. It's there for you. Okay, but for now, if you just have a certain period of time, let's get tapping. So you want to start here on your eyebrow point, which is at the end of your eyebrow right there. And if you're left-handed or right-handed, doesn't matter what side. So you just start tapping here. Now, if you have a headache, tapping will relieve a headache, but you just have to make sure that you press instead of tap, because that will irritate you if you're tapping while you have a headache. Okay, so we're gonna just tap in some of the benefits of black kyanite if you don't own any, okay? Oh, real quick. Let's open up a portal just real fast. If you've never been here before, I like to use a double terminated crystal to open up an energetic portal for the intention that what I am removing and what you're removing. And if you don't have a crystal, use your finger. And I just do a clockwise motion on the floor if you're new here. That's kind of like your energetic recycling bin. It's going to take it and get rid of it so that you don't stand up after you're done with this and pick it all back up onto your body. Okay, so we're clockwise on the floor. I'm setting the intention with every exhale that we are, or I am, releasing what no longer serves my bodies, that's not in my highest and best good. May it go down to be transmuted, transformed into pure white light and ultraviolet flames that surround all four corners of the planet, inside, outside, and anywhere that needs to be purified, and instead transmute and transform that into love, peace, and balance for the planet. So be it. So I'm going to open that circle so that my intention is that every exhale that I do just without thinking, it's clearing me, okay? And my feet always get warm, my hands always get warm, because the healing touch practitioner side comes out, which is a lot like Reiki, but it's a little different. But anyways, my feet are activated. It's because that's how I know it's gonna be clearing out my vessel. Okay, so clockwise on the floor, and where circle is open, counterclockwise to close if you just need to tap for your 6 minutes and go, okay? So eyebrow point. If you have any questions, write them in the comments. Eyebrow point. I'm calling in the energy and essence of black kyanite for protection, healing, and clearing. Side of the eye, This is balancing, aligning, clearing, and supporting all of my chakras, particularly the root chakra. Under the eye, right here, just under the pupil when you're looking straight ahead. Black kyanite is the only stone that clears energies but doesn't need to be cleared. Under the nose, right where your mustache would be. It offers protection, healing, and transmutation of any low vibrations. And then right below the lip in this little divot here, this card is pulled because we need to protect ourselves and clear any stuck energies around us, practicing energy hygiene. You can meditate with kyanite. It surrounds yourself with pure white light. And then collarbone, I don't know if you can see it so much. So you have two collarbone nubs typically, and right about a half an inch to an inch below, there's like a dip, like a little valley. Right there, I want you to tap. Now, if you have two hands, go all the way out. I only have one for the, because I'm holding up the card so you can see it. But we're gonna say, calling in, surrounding myself with pure white light, me and my loved ones, calling in my guides and angels for protection, and under the arm. So this is about, you can't really see it with the camera, but it's right about 4 inches below the armpit. And it's a little bit sensitive, so go easy. And staying true to the path of my soul's deepest calling. Okay, so we're going to the crown and we're gonna pull it all together, okay? The crown is 100 meeting points, and that actually releases inner critic lacking focus, as well as gerbil wheel thinking, or the monkey mind, and instead invites intuition, insight, spiritual connection, focus, and wisdom, as well as discernment and clarity. So that's a really good one that you can just tap on anytime. Okay, so we're going to call in this whole card together so you can get a little bit more time here. Calling in black kyanite for protection, healing, and clearing. It clears all of the energies that need to be cleared. It also offers protection and healing and transmutation of low vibrations. We're using the essence and energy of kyanite to protect myself, my loved ones, to clear any stuck energies around us and surround ourselves in pure white light. We're calling in our guides and angels to help with protection and staying true to the path of our highest soul's calling. Okay, so then next card is going to be from the Kyle Gray deck. There's fireworks going off in my neighborhood, so I'm not going to edit that because that'll never stop. Okay, so Freya, which I found was really interesting, is Freya and Odin both came out. Now, Freya and Odin are twin partners. So like, what? And then Kuan Yin. So like, I asked who wanted to be around. So we got tons of support. I'm trying to get it without the glare. Okay, so we're going to go to the eyebrow point. Freya is all about phases and cycles. So eyebrow point. There is a beginning within every ending. Illusions are being revealed and released. Side of the eye. Freya, which means lady, is a Norse goddess of the moon and love. She's the twin flame of Odin, which also came up next. I'll pull him up next. And she's a warrior goddess who often has deep spiritual and physical protection of those who call on Freya. So it's kind of interesting. It goes along with the kyanite as far as protection goes. Under the eye. She will stand before you and with shield and spear because to keep you safe from harm. She works very closely with moon energy. We just came off of 3 eclipses, so and helps us recognize life cycle is always changing. Under the nose. She herself is a maiden, mother, and crone, and the aspect of all women to guide them to see the wisdom of these cycles and what they bring. Under the lip. We all go through phases and cycles of growth. Freya is the energy that supports this. She is the raven spirit totem, which is said to represent the capacity of travel between heaven and earth. under the collarbone. The extended message for this is you might be at a phase in your life where it's come to an end. It's important to acknowledge it's never an end, but when one door closes, another one opens. Under the arm, you may have been desperate for a change, but now it's here. You could feel a little bit vulnerable, but the mighty goddess Freya will guide you. Top of the crown, illusions are now being revealed so that you can leave behind anything false to step into your peaceful, warrior-like energy, and then loose ends, and tie up all loose ends and take heart. This is an exciting time. Okay, so Freya came out, and then Odin, her twin flame, he came out, and then Kuan Yin came out. So it's like, that's why I didn't use as many decks, because we had so many wanting to help. Okay, so then we're gonna go eyebrow point with Odin. Odin's all about psychic insight, the third eye opening, seeing the truth for what it really is, and follow your intuition and use your discernment. Does it feel or ring true to you? Does that feel right? You know what I mean? Use your intuition to help you discern if it's true or feels true in the context of the words being expressed. Does it feel or ring true to your gut or your third eye or whatever tells you if somebody's telling the truth? Side of the eye, Odin is a Norse all-father god who's revered to this present day. He's powerful, all-seeing, all-knowing God with this twin flame, Freya, and like her, has a raven as a totem under the eye. The story goes that he surrendered one of his eyes at a mystical spring called Mimer or Murmur. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing it, so that he could gain the wisdom of the ages. He is strong, but somewhat of a wild character, who helps us reawaken our natural psychic instincts and opens our third eye so we can look beyond physical senses under the nose into the spiritual realm. He also helps us recognize that it is okay to have insights into what's happening next under the lip. After all, we are creators of our path. Odin guards the runic alphabet and works closely with signs, symbols, and omens. So he got the rune symbols from hanging upside down in the tree. The runes came to him, and that came as a divination for years to come. People would throw the runes in order to read the symbols, and those were all based off of Odin's journey. And then collarbone, you're being encouraged to look beyond what your physical eyes show you. So again, using discernment, what do you feel feels true? Does this feel good? Because if it feels good and expansive, it's true. If it feels achy or dense or constricted, it's probably not true. And your gut and your instincts and intuition are telling you so. So collarbone, you're being encouraged to look beyond what your physical eyes are showing you. Look within and follow your intuition or psychic visions. You may want to plan ahead at this time. And then under the arm, it's important to keep your mind and energy focused on the best possible outcome, because we're manifesting our thoughts. So make sure your thoughts are in alignment with what you would rather call in. And then the top of the crown, be aware that the winged beings are gracing your path is a wink from Odin. So who all sees a bunch of crows or other winged creatures a lot of the days? Odin and the light keepers. Okay, so they're wink from Odin and the light keepers to say that they are honoring you and your work. Isn't that beautiful? I love it. Okay, so then one final ascended master that wanted to come through, we'll keep on tapping, is Kuan Yin. I believe she just came out recently, didn't she? You'll have to remind me, I forget. Kuan Yin, care and compassion. Choose to be love. Do what's right for everyone involved. Offer a helping hand. Side of the eye. Sometimes Kuan Yin is called Kuan Yin with a K instead of with a Q. But she's a Bhutsava being, which is Buddha-like being, and a goddess of mercy, compassion, and love. She's acknowledged in Buddhism traditions. In China, she goes beyond religion and warms the hearts of any who call on her. Under the eye, she has a strong connection to healing energy, in particularly Reiki, and encourages people to offer care, forgiveness, compassion to themselves and others. Under the nose, compassion is about recognizing the spirit in others. It's about seeing that they come from the same source as you do. And under the lip, first of all, the Keepers of the Light would like to acknowledge the service and commitment that you have offered others. You are all love. If you're finding it difficult with anyone at the moment, the best way to move forward is to go beyond wanting to understand. Under the collarbone, why or how they are the way that they are. Just move beyond their behavior or their mistakes and challenges. Under the arm, this card brings a message of friendship and care, helping you see those around you have the best intentions, even if it doesn't always seem that way. Crown, moving into compassion develops a greater understanding with this, moving in with compassion helps develop a greater understanding, and this will elevate your spirit and connection to love. Gotta love some Kuan Yin energy. Beautiful. Okay, all right. Then the next cards that came out were the Work Your Light deck, Rebecca Campbell. And the first one, and I feel this is really true with what's going on in the planet right now, it's the initiation, right? Going from the dark, dense, corrupt world to a more vibrant frequency world that has everyone's best interest in mind. If they choose to go within and discern what is the truth, they'll be able to determine with their heart and intuition what's true and what's not true. And right now we're getting a lot of untruths. So you have to dig a little bit deeper and do a lot more research to really determine the truth. But I feel like this is like, to me, it's like dropping off of the old world and stepping into the new, beautiful, vibrant world that we love so much and that we deserve. It is the heaven on earth, and each one of us owns a spot there, and each one of us is welcome there, and each one of us can step through that door and let all of this crumble and fall away. Okay, so it's the initiation, rite of passage. We have the rite of passage. My point is what I was trying to say. I could have shortened that all. Eyebrow point. The initiation, rite of passage, crossing this threshold from the old, corrupt, no longer serving us world to the new, highest and best intention, heart-led passion, unity, community world that we are creating. Okay, side of the eye, some of the most sacred initiation chambers and temples look scary from the outside, but they're breathtakingly beautiful inside. This represents the journey of the soul pilgrim that's required for you to take to reach somewhere sacred. Under the eye, but only the initiated can enter. Perhaps that's why you're here right now. Under the nose, you're being tested. I think the whole planet is. Perhaps, okay, let's see. You're being attested, initiated, because you are headed somewhere sacred. Under the lip, initiation require that we cross this threshold from one world or state of being into the next. Collarbone, we're being called to face what scares us, what needs to be healed, what's coming up to the surface. Old wounds, old patterns, old belief systems are coming up to be healed so that you can acknowledge them and let them go for one last time. Karma is being cleared. Let it go. We are being called to face what scares us, being willing to look at it Face it, even if it scares us the most. Be willing to lose everything in order to gain a totally new way of being. All of the safety and security and depth of meaning. Initiation, like rites of passage, mark the shift from one age to the next. The age of Aquarius, right? And can take place because of an emotional turmoil, great loss, grief, devastation, but it also is through seeming hardships that our heart cracks open and spirit is invested in to step forward. Start under the arm. We take sacred voyage into more of who we are and who we came here to be. It can be painful and definitely scary, but once we begin that journey, we can be more of ourselves than ever before. Top of the crown. If you're in the middle of an initiation right now, which I think everybody pretty much is, you will get through it, and one day soon you will bless the thing that broke you down and cracked you open, because the world needs you open. You're going somewhere sacred, and it will be worth it, and you're closer than you think. It is your rite of passage. Cross the cross that threshold, and just trust that what you're letting go of, something much better will come in place of. Okay, so that's the first one in this deck. The second one in this deck is the ever unfolding rose. I don't know if you can see it very well. Let's go right here. The ever unfolding rose, cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. The challenge of life is to keep your heart open while you mostly want to close it. Side of the eye. Let life crack you open, which is what the initiation card kind of said. To open through all that hurt and all that loss. Allow what's falling away, fall away, like that other card said. Being human is a courageous act. Life well lived is full of losses and tragedies as much as it is triumphs and adventures. Under the nose. Whether you find yourself at the moment, life is coaxing you to keep your heart open no matter how much it hurts. To continually unfold and let life crack you open. Perhaps you're going through a difficult time right now. Instead of cursing the difficulty, see it as a blessing. A blessing and a lesson. That's what I always say. Collarbone. Instead of curse. Okay, let's see. To open yourself up to the truth that perhaps, as hard as it may be, life is happening for you and not to you. One day, in the not too distant future, you may just bless this thing that broke you down and cracked you open, because the world needs you open. Under the arm. Now is the time to go gently. Treat yourself like a tender, sweet baby. Wrap yourself in a fuzzy blanket and trust that the mother has cradled you in her arms, top of the head. The seas may not all be smooth sailing, but you are safe. You are held. And one day, not too far from today, you're going to look back at this transformation and be blown away at the poetry of life. Everything is going to be okay. Everything is going to be okay. Just let it crack you open, because the world needs you open. Okay, so that's the other card. We have 2 more cards to tap in, and then we're going to close our circle. So, growing, which kind of is in alignment with the initiation. I'm trying to get you on the camera, sorry. The initiation card, and the card right after it, the ever unfolding rose, right? And then the other one is the door to the infinite. The door to the infinite. So I'm going to go in this order because this is the way they came out. Right here. Today I understand that I am here to learn, to discover, to grow. Side of the eye. When I nourish myself with my inner light, my inner divinity grows. Under the eye. When I study the messages that brings life to me. Under the nose. I am improved in the eyes of God. Under the lip. When I strike a balance between the material and spiritual worlds, collarbone, I am free of inner conflicts. Under the arm, in these ways, I grow my own soul. So the top of the crown, we're going to read it all together. Today I understand that I am here to learn, to discover, and grow. When I nourish myself with my inner light, my inner divinity grows. When I study the messages that life brings me, I am improved in the eyes of God. When I strike a balance between material and spiritual world, I am freed from inner conflicts. In these ways, I grow my own soul. Okay, the last and final card, and then we'll close this circle, is the doorway to the infinite. Look at that beautiful picture of jumping inside of yourself, and know that you are a spiritual being having a human experience, and we're billions of years old. And this is just one of the many lifetimes that the strongest of the strong came back to watch a planet go from darkness into light, go from third density into fifth density and beyond. Okay, so we are all the A team, and the reason why we're here is because we were chosen to be here. We all have very, very strong souls, and we are just a soul, energetic being having a human experience in this meat suit we call human. Physical, right? But what we're clearing is everything that's outside of our physical that impacts. If you've ever walked into a room and you're sensitive and somebody just had an argument, can you feel that there was an argument in that room? I'm pretty sure most of you can feel an argument when you walk in a room. When a house that you've went in feels a little uneasy and you don't, some very negative energies in that house, I'm pretty sure most of you guys can pick it up. So what we're doing right now is we're clearing everything with every exhale, with every tap. We're unlocking all of the meridians within the body, and we're letting it go with every exhale right now. So we're clearing our field. Use this as much as you need to whenever you feel something isn't right. And whether you've watched the news, please don't, because you should really turn that off right now. What a scary movie, the news, whatever that has messed up your energetic field, use EFT to clear it properly. Open up that portal, let it all go. Just like I'm teaching you that as energetic hygiene for yourself from this video and throughout life. As many times as you do EFT every day, it'll only help you, not hurt you. You can do it twice a day or as many times as you need to. And in these times, feel free. Nobody's going to judge you if you did it as much as you need to every single day, several times a day if needed, okay? So, back to that tapping. A door to the infinite. At my heart center is the door that leads me to the infinite. Today, I visit my heart center and I open that door. Under the eye, as I enter, I experience and sense deep, deep serenity. Under the nose, and I understand that I am an eternal being. Under the lip, and I am indestructible. Your energy. You're in a physical suit just for a time being. But we've been here many times in different physical suits, and we've played either the light or the dark. Right now, we're seeing a little bit of everything up in the planet right now. So, collarbone. From here, I can see beyond my life's challenges to my higher levels of existence from a higher perspective. Under the arm, I know that my inner light is infinite, okay? Top of the crown, let's bring it all together, okay? Because I love that. A door to the infinite. At my heart center, there's a door that leads me to the infinite. Today I visit my heart center and open up that door. As I enter, I experience a deep sense of serenity, and I understand that I am eternal and that I am indestructible. And from here, I see beyond my life's challenges to the higher levels of existence. I know now that my inner light is infinite. And then together we say on the third eye, so be it and so it is. And then we take a deep breath, clearing all remainder stuff down to our portal. Feel free to do that again if you need. And one more time. Okay, grab your double terminated wand or your finger, counterclockwise on the floor. I'm thanking my guides, guardian angels, ascended masters, everybody who came forward to assist in this process of clearing my energetic field to transmute into light, ultraviolet flames that hit all four corners of the planet, within, without, throughout, above, below, anywhere that needs purification and transformation, to transform my energy down to be turned into love, peace, and harmony throughout the planet. And then I like to cover it up with dirt, and so be it, and so it is, and it is done, it is done, it is done. And guess what? Not only have you cleared yourself to help you physically, emotionally, spiritually, every which way that you can clear your field, because we have all those different layers of the bodies, mentally, you've also been a service to the planet by asking for your energy that you've cleared to be recycled and transmuted and turned into something that could best serve the planet at this time. And you've picked up your mess by creating that portal. So isn't that lovely? So until next time, like I said, tap, tap, tap as much as you need to. Please share this with somebody who's having a really hard time right now. This could really help shift their energy if they're really struggling and they just need just a breath of peace. This will give it to them. Okay, so take good care until next time. I'm Sylvia from thesacredspiral.com, and namaste.